Today I'm going to be building a modern outdoor bench using only 3 2x8s and 1 2x4. That's less than $50 in lumber. The best part is you can do it with 2 power tools. And I'm going to have the plan so you can do it yourself. Let's get started. Now the first thing I like to do is actually lay down a sheet of about, I think this is 1.5 inches thick, rigid foam insulation. These are like 30 bucks a sheet, and I think I've had this one for at least 5 years. Obviously you can see there's a lot of cuts on here. But the nice thing about this is it fully supports the wood and it gives you a very sacrificial surface to cut through. So what you're gonna do is you're actually going to take your board and then you'll take your circular saw and you just adjust the depth so that this blade just kisses the actual foam itself, and then lock that back in. So our circular saw is ready to go, but we're actually going to be starting with a 2x8. We'll pull this guy out first. Let me grab my plans. Like I said, I am going to have plans for this, so if you just scan that QR code, that's going to take you over to my website where you can get those plans. Now first things first is we actually need to cut 2 equal lengths out of 2 of these 8-foot boards. That's going to be our seat and our back. So most 8-foot boards you would think would be 96 inches. Now this one is 96 3/8. So we got plenty of wiggle room to get 2 48-inch boards out of there. This end actually looks pretty good, so I don't need to clean that up. But what I will do is go ahead and mark 48 inches. And then I've just got a large speed square, which if you don't have a miter saw and you just want to do this with these tools, then this speed square is going to be your friend. Now when I make this cut, you can actually use this square, this large speed square, as a straight edge guide for your circular saw. Now that you've got your 48-inch long board, you can actually use it as a template for your next one, or you can stay with the tape measure rule, but this edge is definitely ugly, so we're gonna wanna trim that one off anyway. One thing I will note is that if you have an 8-foot long board, exactly 8 feet, you're going to have to kind of shorten those seats and backs by just enough to make sure that you can get your cut out of the middle. We're kind of splitting hairs at that point, but say 47 7/8 instead of 48 inches. All right, let's speed this up. Okay, we got our seats and our backs cut out. Now is for the little more challenging part. So the next thing I need to do is actually cut out the profiles for the legs themselves. Now I'm gonna start by measuring 37 3/4 inch down this board and make a mark. And then I'm going to measure 15.5 to that point and 22.25 right there. Now I'm just gonna take a straight edge and line these points up and strike a line across here. And then from this point over here, this 22.5, all the way over to my mark down here. So now I'm gonna use my circular saw to cut out this, what do you call this thing? Is this a rhombus? I'm not sure what it is. Trapezoid? Trapezoid? I don't know, I forget my geometry. Anyway, let's make a couple of cuts and then we'll take this one, flip it over, and use it as a template to cut a second of this. So now we need to cut a 22-inch board with 5-degree ends on it. With a miter saw, this is really easy, but if you don't have one, this speed square really works well. And if you can see this right here, this is my 5-degree mark along the diagonal of the speed square. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna rotate that over so that 5-degree mark is in line with the bottom of my piece of wood. This is my pivot point, and then I just strike a mark right here. Then we'll go ahead and get that cut. All right, the 2x8s are cut, and this is what you should end up with. 4 48-inch long boards, 2 seat profiles, and a 22-inch board with 5-degree ends on both sides. Now, we've got a 2x4 that we need to cut down. Out of that, we're gonna need 2 20-inch boards with a 15-degree angle on one end, and then we're gonna need 2 22.5-inch boards that are just straight cuts. Again, you can do these with a circular saw and the speed square, just like we did the 2x8s, or you can use your miter saw. Now I've got a couple more cuts that I need to make on this leg profile, one of which is going to be the front point. This is actually gonna sit like this, and that is gonna support the seat. So we need to cut a foot flat on the back and the front point off, just to make it look nice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure up here 5 7/8 and make a mark, and then I'm gonna measure up the edge that we cut 3 1/2 and make a mark. And then I'll just take my straight edge, connect those 2 marks, and this will be our foot. And what I'm gonna do now, because this one is somewhat similar, but not quite as long as this one, I'm just gonna put an F here so we know where that goes. All right, so we got our foot cut, and the next point is gonna be over here. That's gonna get measured 3 1/2 and 3 1/4. Again, straight edge, mark to mark. So now I can take my other leg profile and just trace this. Now the nice thing about these leg profiles are you can't really, until you cut these points, you can't really get them mixed up. They both are mirrored, so you can put it on like this or like this. You don't really have to keep track of the ends until after you make these cuts. So I'll just put that on there as my template and mark for my foot. Same thing, go ahead and write an F on here so we know that is for the foot. Put this around, cut these guys off. So hopefully now you can kind of see where I'm going with this. This is going to be our rear foot. This is going to be the front of it. And then eventually we'll have some legs, some front legs, which brings me to our next step. This 22-inch board that we cut with 2 5-degree ends, basically you just want to measure up 5 inches from the shallow end. And hopefully that makes sense, but like the 95-degree corner. So this end is going to be 85 and this end's gonna be 95. So we'll go 5 inches up here, make a mark, and then same thing, we're gonna go from the top corner this time, which is gonna be our 95-degree corner, and 5 inches up from there. And we just connect these 2 marks, and this is going to give us 2 identical front legs. Two more pieces that we got to cut out. This is going to be the back support, but we're also going to cut the arm support out of it because the arm is going to hang off the edge and we need kind of like a triangle. But we're going to get them both out of this piece. So what we got to do is go 1 3/4 up the bottom corner and 6 1/2 inches down. This triangle offcut will actually be our arm support. And then we'll do the same thing. Okay, so we got our back supports and we got our little arm supports. We'll just go ahead and set those to the side. And now these are actually going to be our armrests. These are the 22.5-inch long. So for that, this is just a simple taper. We're not gonna reuse this offcut, so come up 1.5 inches from the bottom corner and go down 15. 2 identical armrests. We got our cuts down, now we can start with the fun part. I was just getting ready for the next step, which is basically putting the back supports onto the bottom back legs. And one thing I noticed was that I cut these angles on the wrong side. These are supposed to go like this, and that angle is supposed to go back there. So don't be like me and actually pay attention to the plans because they're written for a reason. Luckily, I had an extra pressure treated 2x4. So I went ahead and actually cut them on the correct angle, and now we just need to attach them. Which brings me to another tool we're gonna be using, not a power tool. I did specify only 2 power tools, but for this project, we're gonna be using the Kreg XL pocket hole jig. Now, I like the XL pocket holes because the screws that you use for those are much bigger. They're kind of like lag screws, and you get a really secure hold, which we're gonna need for this back support. Do I think that you could possibly use a standard pocket hole jig? Probably, but I think this is gonna give us a little extra security, and it's a nice tool to have in the shop. So what I need to do is I need to put pocket holes on the insides of these. I don't want them facing outside because I want this bench to look pretty from the sides. So basically we've got 2 legs here, and we're gonna use them on the insides of both of these back supports. So we'll just put 2 pocket holes here and here, and then we'll attach them to the lower legs. So now, like I said, we've got our foot marked, so we know that one goes on the ground, and then our back support is gonna go right here, and that'll use those 2 pocket holes that we just drilled to attach it. Let's go ahead and do that now, and both of these will be mirrored. The point on this gets lined up with the point on the back. We have our back leg and we have our front leg, and now we need to attach those. Now, I do have some measurements to figure out how that's gonna go. It's 12 3/8 on the back and 14 1/4 on the front. So we'll just measure up the back, 12 3/8, and we'll measure on the front of the front leg. What'd I say? 14 1/4. Just take a little speed square or straight edge of some sort, connect those 2. This is going to line up with this guy. My armrest as support for this, because that's going to be raised up 1.5 inches to account for that back leg. What I'm going to do first is going to put a little bit of glue in here, just because a little glue never hurt. I'll get this line back up. Now this front point is going to be flush with the front of the leg. It calls for 3 2.5 inch, actually 2 2.5 inch wood screws. I'm gonna use these Kreg XL screws. I got a couple extra, and these are really beefy. So first, I'm actually going to pre-drill this because I don't want it to split on me. We'll do the same thing to both sides, obviously mirrored again. We want the pocket holes facing up because that's gonna be the inside of the bench. And then we'll just attach them with these screws. So now we have 2 legs. All that's left is the armrest and the seat in the back. So let's start with the armrest. We'll put those on first, then we'll finish it off. I actually started looking at these armrests and realizing that it would be a lot easier if they were attached once the bench was somewhat more assembled. So I'm gonna set these legs to the side for right now, and I've got my seats and my backs, and I'm going to go ahead and pre-drill all of these holes on each end. So there's gonna be 2 holes on each end. This is just gonna prevent it from splitting. We got 1.5 inches of wood that we're gonna be screwing into, so we need to set these back about 3/4 of an inch. Now to attach the backs and the seats, we're gonna be using just 2.5 inch wood screws. I've got some deck screws here that are perfect for treated lumber. You wanna make sure you use an exterior screw that's rated for treated lumber. So far we've only used 2 power tools. Like I said from the beginning, we've got the circular saw and now the drill driver. The back itself is gonna have 1 inch of overhang from the top. We want to flush this up with that end there, and then we'll just go ahead and go with it. All right, we got both of those screws in. Now we can just kind of make sure this is decently square. For right now, it will get figured out later on down the road. And then we'll take our next board and lay that in here. And you can just use your carpenter's pencil as a spacer. It doesn't have to be exact, but it is nice to get them all exact, or all the same, I should say. Back is in. Now we're going to take this down and install this. I actually already went ahead and marked their locations, so I knew where to pre-drill those holes. Need a 3/4 of an inch overhang on the arms. Rotate this bench around. Now what we need to do is actually secure these arms through the back. So I'll use this level to go ahead and make sure that those armrests are level. Now, one thing I don't want was this armrest to kind of bend over because it's hanging off of this front leg quite a bit. So that's what these armrest supports are for that we cut in the beginning. So we'll just kind of line those up, make sure that our screws aren't gonna go through. Now these armrest supports are gonna get one screw through the top and one screw through the side. I actually sized this bench for an outdoor cushion. This is a 48 by 16 inch deep outdoor cushion. One modification I would make if you want the cushion is I would make the armrest just a little bit higher. Those are those 22 inch boards that we cut down on an angle, and I'd make them like 24, maybe 25 to get those armrests up just a little bit. But overall, we've got a modern looking bench for under $50 in lumber, so that is pretty good. If you want the plans to build one yourself, just make sure you scan that QR code right there. And until next time, be safe and happy building.